Have you ever just stopped and wondered how the websites you use every single day are actually built? You know, from your favorite news site all the way to massive social networks. Well, today we're going to peek behind the curtain at the 3 core technologies that really are the foundation of the entire web. So let's just dive right in. And yep, those 3 things are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It doesn't matter if it's the simplest blog or the most complex platform you can imagine, these are the essential building blocks. And in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what each one does. So what even is web development? Well, at its heart, it's just the art of building and maintaining websites. And honestly, the best way to get how it all fits together is with a super simple analogy. We're going to build a house. Seriously, this one idea, building a digital house, is the key to understanding everything. Let's see how this works. Okay, first up, we've got HTML. Think of this as the foundation, the walls, the roof. It's the entire structural frame of our digital house. It gives the website its basic shape and holds everything together. Without HTML, you're literally just staring at an empty plot of land. Next up is CSS. So if HTML is the structure, CSS is all the design. It's the paint on the walls, the style of the windows, the furniture you pick out. It's the whole aesthetic that makes the house actually look appealing and, feel like a home. And finally, we get to JavaScript. This is the cool part. This is the electrical wiring, the plumbing, and all the functional bits of the house. We're talking light switches, ceiling fans, running water, everything that makes the house interactive and lets it actually do things. So let's start with that first pillar, HTML. Now, its full name is Hypertext Markup Language, but honestly, you can just think of it as the skeleton of every single web page you have ever visited. So what does this skeleton actually build? Well, HTML is responsible for creating all the core stuff you see, the big headings that grab your attention, the paragraphs of text you're reading, the images, the links you click on, and even the forms you fill out. And here's what it actually looks like in practice. This is a real, super simple HTML document. And the code is made up of these things called tags. You can see them wrapped there in the angle brackets. And believe it or not, it's incredibly straightforward. The H1 tag just tells the browser, hey, make this a big, important heading. The P tag says, and this part? This is just a standard paragraph. Your web browser reads this simple text file and uses these tags as instructions to show the content correctly on your screen. That's it. Okay, so we have our structure built with HTML, but let's be real, a bare skeleton isn't very pretty, is it? That's where our second pillar, CSS, comes in to handle the website's design. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it's the language that is 100% dedicated to making websites look good. It's really the artistry of the web. And that word cascading is key. It basically means styles can flow down from a parent to a child, kind of like a waterfall, which lets you design really complex pages efficiently. And this right here, this shows the difference in their jobs perfectly. HTML is purely structural. It just says, okay, this thing is a button. Then CSS comes in with all the stylistic instructions saying, all right, let's make that button red, give it some nice rounded corners, and stick it right in the center of the page. And here's exactly what that instruction looks like in code. This simple CSS rule targets all buttons on the page and tells the browser to give them a red background and make the text on them white. It's that direct. So we've got structure and we've got style. Now it's time to add the intelligence. Let's move to our third and final pillar, JavaScript, which is basically the brain of the website that makes it come alive. Now, this is the real game changer. JavaScript is what turns a static, boring document into a dynamic, interactive experience. And here's the magic. It's a full-blown programming language that runs right inside your browser, which is what makes modern websites feel so instant and responsive. To really get its power, just ask yourself this. What would the modern web even be like without it? Seriously, try to imagine a world where websites are just digital brochures that you can only look at. In that world, when you click a button, nothing would happen. You wouldn't get that instant feedback if you typed a wrong password in a form. All those smooth animations and pop-up menus, they'd just be gone. Basically, all the modern web applications we rely on every day just wouldn't exist. Here's a super simple example of its power. This little bit of code tells the website to listen for a very specific event, a user clicking on a button. And when that click happens, JavaScript performs an action. In this case, it pops up a little alert that says, "Hello, user." This is the fundamental idea behind all web interactivity. A user does something, that's the event, and JavaScript provides the reaction, the action. So there you have it. That's the what, HTML for structure, CSS for style, and JavaScript for behavior. Now that you understand the pieces, you might be wondering, okay, so what does it actually take to start building with them? Just remember, these three languages are a team. They have to work together. HTML builds the structure, CSS handles all the design, and JavaScript provides the logic. It's the three of them, combined, that bring a website to life. So, here's a really clear path to get started. You always begin with HTML, just to understand structure. From there, you add CSS to control the design. Then you bring in JavaScript for interactivity. Learning a tool like Git is also super important, but the most crucial step is that last one. You truly learn this stuff by building your own real projects. So, why does all this matter? Well, beyond just the fun of creating something, these are incredibly in-demand skills. To give you one example, in a booming tech market like India, a developer with just these foundational skills can start with a pretty competitive salary, and that's just the entry point for a huge career. So, the real takeaway is this. Learning to build websites is an incredibly powerful skill. It empowers you to create things, to solve problems, and to build not just a career path for yourself, but a true identity in the digital world. So the only question left is, what will you build first?